Fuel, just like fuel, we'll eventually run out of fuel.
It's just way
Okay,
more.
we can talk about this stuff on the podcast. So how are we transitioning into this? I don't want to talk about that stuff.
That's what I'm trying to fuck with.
So how do we
Kevin started off.
Kevin just started off this one.
Shut up and start going. Okay, I'll start it.
Welcome everybody to the Lunchtime Banter Podcast. I am your host Jora, alongside with my co-host Preeti, Kevin, and Gajot, and our special guest host again this week is Terry. Yeah. He's gonna be dropping some knowledge bombs, and this is episode number 16.
I think you really enjoyed the last one, so he
came back for more.
The performance was excellent. You guys wanted me back, and
all that porn talk.
Couldn't get enough.
We just couldn't say no.
I did a lot of research about it.
But we're not going to be talking about porn today.
Maybe, you never know.
Hey, you never know where these.
We always go down rabbit holes.
Or go there holes.
You guys ever heard of Can Do? What? Oh fuck! I missed something. What happened? What happened?
He's sitting right next to me, and I still missed it.
What happened? Good job, you gonna tell us?
He said glory holes.
Oh, yo, man, too soon.
Goddamn Terry and his one-liners.
Sneaks him in there.
Have you guys heard of Can Do?
Can do.
I got a can-do attitude.
It's Canada's nuclear reactors organization.
Well, that sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. I think we build them, we sell them.
Are we
use them or
like
something.
one of the most efficient nuclear countries in the world?
I think we're the best at using decommissioned nuclear weapons and then using them for fucking.
So instead of mining uranium,
Yeah.
we use decommissioned
Yeah.
Oh, that's
weapons.
smart.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
so we're like really good at that. As,
Reduce, reuse,
Canada.
recycle, guys.
The
Your
principles.
nukes.
And the crazy part is that Canada has a way of doing it. The Can Do has a way of doing it. That plant could be running at full, and they could add it in. I don't know how.
So they don't have to do any shutdown
No.
or anything like that for it to be. Wow.
Yeah, it's not.
And then, so do we license this technology out?
I have no fucking idea.
We
I believe
should.
we do sell them. I'm pretty sure.
I think we do too. I've heard of can do projects everywhere.
Well, yeah, because we're known as the safest and the most cost effective efficient in the world. So
wow.
we gotta be sending.
And that being said, we only have 5 nuclear reactors in Canada
5.
Yeah.
compared to the states that has what 60.
60 commercialed.
Yeah,
And remember that commercial.
that's commercial. Yeah.
But I think that just has to do with up here in Canada, we have so much hydro power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I know BC, I think almost
All hydro.
all hydro.
All
Yeah.
hydro.
Yeah.
We even call our electricity like
Well, I
when
shouldn't
our,
say all hydro. I think we do a little bit of wind.
Yeah, a little bit. But like even our electricity, we call it hydro.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Hey, well,
hydro.
what's your hydro bill?
Yeah.
People would be like, "What the fuck? Your water bill? Like
Yeah,
hydro
yeah.
is water."
Actually, that's so true. I've never said.
We never
my,
even think
my
about it.
electricity bill came. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo,
we
man,
never
my
said-
hydro bill came.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
told me.
Exactly. Go down south, nobody understands what the hell you're saying.
Yeah, shouldn't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours are our nuclear plants are actually known because we have so much water.
Yeah.
They designed them. That water is the thing that cools them down too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's heavy water reactors, which use the heavy water D2O
I think most of the nuclear
as the
reactors
coolant. What's a
use
D2O?
I think most of them use water as cooling.
H3O.
What the fuck is
H3O is normally what they use for cooling. It's
Okay, this
it's heavy water, I think.
They're calling this heavy water. It's D2O. Weird.
D2O.
Probably some chemical additives.
Oh, you know what? It might be the D for dihydrogen. Maybe that's why they're.
Well, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's crazy how the States has 60 of them commercialized, and I think there's a couple that are the exact same, but most of them are like designed fully, like from the ground up, like designed totally different.
Apparently, we're selling them to China. The can-do technology.
Oh, crazy!
Young Sergeant just fact checked that for me.
Nice.
So, I think a lot of people are scared of nuclear, but efficiency-wise, I think it's in the 90th percentile for one of the most efficient ways of creating power, if maintained correctly, and controlled properly,
proper regulations,
and oversight over it. It can be safe. I think as soon as you heard the word nuclear, first thing you think is a bomb, radiation, dead,
Yeah.
right? and a lot of nuclear waste and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think they're with the CANDU technology, it's actually very efficient and less harmful on the environment.
Oh shit! I was just doing a little bit more reading. We don't even own that anymore.
What?
The technology for it. We actually sold it to SNC Lavalin.
But that's still a Canadian company, right?
Yeah, it's a Canadian company, but they made a basically deal with them. If they sold the technology, they would get a big chunk of it, but they get to keep the technology
So they're
and
getting-
all the data and
They're
everything.
getting kickbacks from the Chinese deal then, because you're building a couple in China now with the CANDU technology.
Okay, there you go. Then they would get would
Yeah.
get a percentage of that. That's crazy. It came from
Yeah, I think a lot of people again are super fearful of nuclear, just hearing it, but I think there are some benefits of having it. Definitely huge benefits over coal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, coal is so crazy that
Yeah.
people are still doing it.
It's insane how much just pollution coal creates compared to all the other renewable resources we have now. Like just in terms of how much extra CO2 emissions and stuff are put into the air, whereas like with wind and shit, you got literally nothing. After you build it, there's no sort of carbon emission other than if you have to repair it or you have to do some work on it.
Or it falls apart
Yeah.
and gets on fire. Or
If
something.
you have to
Catches-
repair it.
Like even forget about
Well,
even
catching
burning,
on fire makes CO2.
forget about even burning coal. Even just the process of mining it, it's so
Exactly.
dirty.
Oh.
You get the black lung, everything like that. It's like everything involved with it is just kind of it's crazy.
Yeah.
It made sense back then
Yeah,
when
exactly.
they started it, but like we.
Well, like it's
well,
totally
how
a
far
resource
we-
of the past.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
efficiency numbers on coal is like it's only like 20 or 30% efficient.
Yeah.
Where if you're getting into renewable energies is like 90% efficient, and same thing with nuclear is around 90% efficient.
It's like the same thing with like light bulbs. Was it the incandescent light bulbs, the old ones, compared to like the LEDs?
Yeah.
Oh, massive
Yeah,
difference.
massive
Ridiculous,
difference.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the biggest problem is like people aren't educated enough with the nuclear. The fucking most thing they know about nuclear is that fucking Homer Simpson works out at power plant.
Nuclear.
I can't even lie though. I'm super paranoid about that type of stuff, but
Really?
especially nuclear. Just like the potential like downfalls of it. Just like so.
Yeah,
so
the main
frightening.
things I know is like, okay, nuclear, whatever. Homer Simpson works on the nuclear power plant. This is not energy, and then the Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what scares everybody.
Fukushima
mostly.
even too.
Yeah, that one too. But okay, that one. Okay, first one of them is run by fucked up people, right? And they didn't know how to
Come
handle
on, the
it.
Japanese aren't that bad.
I was waiting for one of you guys to say that. And then the other one is where the biggest fucking earthquakes happen. Yeah, let's build a goddamn fucking reactor right here. Our island gets the most fucking earthquakes, not the most, but crazy ass ones, and let's build one here. It obviously makes sense to
I
put
think,
them.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
we're still they're saying that the radiation from Fukushima is still leaching into the ocean.
It
Yeah,
just-
no, it's gonna get
it
to here.
It
Yeah,
already,
it's
it
gonna
recently
reach
got here.
Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
Like a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago-ish, it hit our beaches.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah.
that's what they were
It
saying.
was like they could see the radiation levels
Yeah.
in the ocean, and it's like, holy shit.
That's
And
fucking
Across the
crazy.
Pacific
And the
Ocean.
crazy thing
man.
is the effect it had like on the fish and all the sea life and stuff like that. You have like fish with like 3 eyes and crazy stuff like that.
Is that for real though? Like, or is
Just
that,
like the
I didn't.
Simpsons.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
real.
I
Just
know.
like
I know.
the
We always laugh about
No,
it,
no,
but
no,
like
no, Hundies.
Those-
100.
you have that the deformity.
Yeah, it's not like Momo challenge with screenshots off Facebook. It's like a real video of fishermen and stuff like that.
That's fucking
And
crazy.
the vegetables there, right, close to there, they were like carrots were like so crazy deformed. They're like, should we eat these motherfuckers?
Well, even Chernobyl still, they have, what do they call
It's
it?
still
They-
quarantined.
They call it, yeah,
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
quarantined. They call their wolves something else there too because they've mutated a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, like not crazy.
Three-headed
about it, like,
wolves?
they're not
No.
like fucking werewolf type beasts.
crazy.
But,
they just started walking like werewolves.
yeah, but there are some like mutations, and it's just crazy.
See, that's the thing that it's so crazy over there. But like it's way better than coal. We should have switched over from coal a long time ago and gone to nuclear. But now it's
Well-
like we're talking about it that it's efficient, but we should go to.
You know
solar
what? That's
or-
kind of the problem, though, is that it seems like back in the 50s and 60s, like there was this idea of look at the future, like just look at all the comics, any entertainment stuff that came out of the 50s and 60s. Super optimistic about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
future, super like just clean, energy savvy, everything.
Yeah.
And so they did start making a lot of nuclear plants and started getting out of that. But then as soon as you had 1 or 2 accidents, because America had that other one, the 1,000 Mile Island or 300 Mile
I think
Island.
1,000 Mile.
1,000 Mile Island, yeah. And they had a meltdown there too, which nowhere near the levels of Chernobyl, but it was still enough to put that fear into the public, and that's where it just seems
They
like
veered away from it.
everyone kind of veered away from nuclear, and now these power plants that are still running are starting to fall apart, starting to wear out. I mean, think about it. These are 40, 50-year-old nuclear plants, and then people point at the stats of those and go, why would we want to build more of those? Look at how dangerous it is. Look at how bad instead of our...
How do you decommission a nuclear power plant?
Oh, this is probably a crazy
Turn the off button. You just
No,
press the off button.
Isn't there like
There's a process.
There's a process because of how unstable it becomes.
Yeah.
All
Right?
the radioactive isotopes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It takes
it's not.
thousands of years to break down. And stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it's not just a matter of like, we're gonna stop using this plant.
Yeah,
today.
you can't just turn it off.
No.
But you can easily decommission them. You can take it apart if you know you're decommissioning it. Like it's not a super complicated process. Well, it's probably complicated.
It's complicated,
it's
but
not
it's
a super
doable.
like there's safeties.
It's
in
achievable.
It.
Yeah.
Not that they're decommissioned,
It's
but
not risky.
That's the issue with the Fukushima, that they have like basically seawater coming in there to cool it down so that there isn't further problems. But then you're having all that radioactive waste go back into the ocean, and it's creating more and more problems. Still to this day, right?
No, Fukushima only the radioactive waste ended up in the water because of the earthquake, because of the cracks and stuff. Otherwise, naturally, these things don't really leach any radiation at all. Like
They're well.
Besides the nuclear waste being made,
Yeah.
which is again just safely secured and stored away somewhere.
Isn't that
basically.
renewable as well? Like you can use that nuclear waste to power other plants.
Exactly. Some other plants, like
Not
as we
renewable,
get
but,
better and better with the
reusable.
technology. I mean, think about it. We're taking this nuclear waste. It's not like we're just chucking it in the streams and rivers like we are with coal and other runoff, like a lot of mining runoff. We're not just dumping it back in the rivers. We're storing it. And so if the technology does get better and better, like it will, we could easily just go back to those.
We could do it right now.
We
could do it right now. It's just it's not cost efficient right now.
Yeah.
So they're just storing it. So they'll be like, okay,
Because
it doesn't make any
nothing else to do
sense
with
to do it with this shit. That's we're only gonna get us like 50% of the energy that the new shit's gonna get us.
Nuclear's power wise, it's like it like basically goes forever.
Well, it's
Not
more of just
forever,
it
but,
takes
but
those radioactive elements have so much more energy.
they have a
and
lot of
potential
energy. Yeah,
in
that's what I
them,
mean.
and that's
you
why
can you can suck a lot more enery for a longer period of time.
Well,
I don't know.
we have to get good at this thing anyways.
We need nuclear batteries.
Because I think we have to get good at this anyways, like perfect at it, because this is the only way we're gonna get across like the fucking universe, basically.
Well,
like,
that's our next big, just humanity's next big challenge is finding a way to get power into smaller capacities, like getting more energy in a smaller storage space. That's our next huge leap, because we have the technology to do a lot of stuff. We don't have the power capabilities to do
So
it.
using using nuclear power to power a spaceship.
Yeah.
Or
That
a
would be
space shuttle.
That'd be the
I think
only.
I'd go-
You just need two things. That and what is it? Hibernation.
Pods?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
pods.
It's over. Done.
The cryo.
Cryopods.
Yeah. There you go.
But it make more sense to use the elements out in space already rather than nuclear and stuff like that, especially with the potential downfalls of that, right? And we've kind of like, not that to say that we exhausted nuclear power as a source, but I feel like if you're gonna talk about traveling across, universes and stuff like that, you'd have a better power source than that, right?
Well, till we get one, do you have a better idea right now?
But that's why we're not traveling across the universe, right? You're not gonna rely on the old.
So we'll
stuff.
get as far as we can. Then we'll get a better one. We'll ditch that nuclear thing on that island, planet, into the star. Just throw it into the fucking star. No, it's not gonna do any harm in there.
Shoot it into the sun.
It'll solve all our problems, right? There's nothing bad could happen about a star exploding, right?
Yeah, if you piss me off, I'm gonna throw you into the star.
But even like when we're talking about the military and stuff like that, like aircraft carriers, nuclear submarines, they're powered. They have not only nuclear weapons, but they're powered by nuclear engines, stuff like that, right? Because they can last so long.
I'm gonna sound like such a dumbass right now, but I did not know that. I always wondered, I'm like, who the fuck goes and fuels the aircraft carriers all the time?
Yeah, that's
like
bigger
the amount of
aircraft
fuel
carriers.
those things are burning. Well, what I thought was fuel that they're burning, because like think of, they stayed, like they barely ever come back to harbor, and they're constantly just going, basically anywhere where they're deployed all over the world.
Because I think the nuclear
They're
submarine.
fucking nuclear powered.
Yeah, because the
So wait,
submarines.
did you know about the submarines?
I didn't know what submarines
Oh,
are there.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Wild.
Wait,
Yeah.
So you know how they're powered by nuclear. If they were to say somebody go to and blows one up.
Yeah, what would happen?
Yeah, would they have a bigger explosion?
The explosion, I don't know.
Yeah, because think about a
Wouldn't that be
submarine
like
getting
a?
attacked.
Wouldn't that
Wouldn't it go into
basically be like a
meltdown?
nuclear bomb?
Wouldn't it go into meltdown? And
It would go into
basically-
meltdown.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but would it make a bigger explosion than or a torpedo already coming at you?
I don't think it would, because say you fly into like a couple planes, whatever, go, you shoot one out, it's not gonna make a fucking atom bomb in the
Yeah.
fucking
No,
air like
yeah,
that.
that's
It's gonna
true.
take
You know
out
what?
everything.
They're
They have to
probably-
have some sort of safety precautions
For what?
There's the safety
for the explosions. Like,
and-
say if there's like a whole fleet going.
Yeah.
It's like if you
Oh wait,
take
wait,
one
oh,
out, it's gonna
no,
take
no,
over.
no, no, that's not how submarines.
You know
work.
what? These
No,
That's not
submarines I'm
that-
talking about. Some of the planes and shit.
Okay, planes. First, they're gonna have it protected as much as possible,
yeah.
obviously. But that's like if they're gonna have it protected, but like if anything explosion happened in there anyways, the whole ship's gone regardless.
Yeah, the ship's gone, but like, how big would that explosion be?
I think those reactors would be pretty minimum. Like they would be just enough to power the ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right? They're not
It's
gonna be crazy.
It's not like
Dude, it must be freaking they have to have something sort of safety precaution,
Just-
because
oh, yeah.
even for submarines and shit like
How
that.
do they contain
No,
the
no, it's not
radiation?
environmental wise, you don't want that freaking.
You
massive
think
explosion.
army?
You know what?
You think
Yeah.
army goes by the fucking?
The more
No,
I'm
no,
thinking
but,
about
like-
it, I'm starting to think, you know what? These things probably do just blow up, toss out a
Okay,
bunch
that's
of
what I was gonna say.
radiation in the middle of the ocean. Nobody knows. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's what I was
Like,
gonna say about
most
world
likely that's-
over wars. First off, do you think that we get notified of every fucking ship?
No,
that gets
no,
issued?
hell
100%
no.
no.
Okay,
Hell
so
no.
we there's obviously ships and submarines out there that have been blown up and it's like, oh, that was a nuclear one. Okay, it's not like they're gonna go down diving.
Have
to
you
get it.
seen the maps for the amount of nuclear bomb testing and shit
Oh
the
my God.
states has done?
That was ridiculous.
Thousands and thousands of nuclear bombs have gone off on this planet already.
Yeah.
Like the craziest fact that I heard of was they actually send down basically salvage crews to get metal from old ships that sank 200 years ago ish, to get metal that hasn't been contaminated with radiation, because there's nowhere else on Earth you can get it.
Because the radiation
Because the
already passed through
radiation has
everything.
already leaked into everything else.
Really?
And so yeah, they use this metal for very sensitive medical equipment
Oh, okay,
that
makes
needs
sense.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't have any of that background radiation in it.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's crazy if you think about it. We're already living in a radiated world that is more radiated than it was.
But that's what
100
pushed
years ago.
it to the edge that I'm sure that most countries wouldn't push that button, the nuclear bomb button, because from the facts, of just what would happen from one or two is going to make the world into.
I don't think people care. I think egos get in the way.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, but
You-
Yeah, we're- at the end of the day,
even when you're threatening that button,
but at the end of the day, the lowest common denominator is going to be that human element,
Yeah.
and that ego.
no,
Yeah.
but
Like-
I think the nuclear one, it stops it, because okay, when you're you gotta think in the end of the day you're gonna survive. You know what I mean?
I
Anything
think
you
in
do.
some
No,
people's
man.
Dude,
twisted
people-
minds, they think that
You
they
make
will
fun of
survive.
somebody and nothing, fuck all of you and fuck
Yeah.
me too.
or they,
But they're not in those. I'm pretty sure they're not in those
No,
situations.
What do you mean? Look at all the
Suicide
people who
bombers
go
exist.
and fucking go shoot up places. You don't think they think they're gonna get shot?
No. What I'm
but-
saying is they're not in the situation to push that button.
let's
How do
say
you know
okay.
that?
Let's talk about the
How do you
people
know
who
that?
I don't know that, but
Listen.
I'm assuming.
the people who are in the position to hit that button also are in the position of having nuclear bunkers. So to them, they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go hide in this bunker.
That's
and I'm
all
gonna,
life.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
ride it out.
Come on,
I'll
get
ride
of
it out.
No, there's no way that somebody's like, yo, man, fuck all this. I'm gonna live in that bunker for
No.
200 years.
No,
Fuck
but
off.
there are people that would
Trump's
go,
already
you know
kitted
what?
his out with the gold toilet. He's good to go.
Yeah,
Gold.
there are people like Trump that would be like, you know what? I can do this. I'll be able to kill them. They're not going to be able to touch me,
Yeah.
and they're going to do it.
No,
Like
it's-
it's like I mean, even during the Cold War, it almost got
Yeah,
pressed,
yeah. That-
and it was the fucking soldier turning the key that was like, no, I'm not doing it. He
Look.
disobeyed direct orders.
That is a little bit in the past. Okay, I think we've learned.
We should learn from the
I think
past.
we've learned a little bit.
I don't think we've learned dick all.
I think we've learned a little bit.
No.
a little bit.
You
So,
know those
here's a-
those missile silos and stuff are still based in like Wisconsin, middle of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
The people turning these keys, the people pressing these buttons, are fucking hicks in the middle
No,
of
they're
nowhere.
not.
They're soldiers. But
Kevin's.
I reckon I'll go down and push them buttons.
Kevin's making it sound.
Trust me, think about
Kevin,
it. This is a
just
guy
stop for
that's
a
had the
second,
same
stop for a
fucking job for
Stop for a
20
second,
years.
stop for a second,
In
stop.
and out of a bunker, just waiting to press a button. Like,
For a second.
I've
You're
watched.
making it sound like they made a bunker, put a nuclear bomb. They're like, you're
Well,
looking
yeah,
around,
yeah.
Oh, there's a farmer over there. Hey, buddy, come over here. He's gonna give you a job.
Hey,
Cletus.
dude, statistically, look, like, who joins the army? You think,
Okay.
you think people...
Join. But they're not gonna give the job to any fucking guy.
You really think that, dude? I'm telling
Dude,
you, they give
it
the
won't
job
give it to
to
anybody.
any fucking guy.
Yeah.
You raise,
It's
fucking
it's
sweep
about
the floor
it's
enough.
about order. Once that order is given, that person's job.
It's a
I got the order.
hierarchy.
I got the order. That's it. It's not about having any sort of consciousness around what
Yeah.
they're about to do.
So you're saying they don't look at the guy at all?
Dude, you don't know.
They're just
what
like,
this
this.
guy's going
Okay,
through.
No.
you know the testers. Okay, there's gonna be 6 keys. Turn number 2 and 3. He does it. This guy's my man.
No, dude. Like, look at so many management positions and stuff like that. Like, lots of people aren't qualified, but as
I
long
get
as
it,
you
but there's-
hit that like rank, I'm telling you, dude,
It's
there
a-
is not
especially in
a
the
thorough
military,
process for this.
especially in the military, it's very
Yeah.
time and rank based.
Exactly.
Yeah,
oh, hello,
obviously.
lieutenant. You're a lieutenant now. Well, lieutenants can do this job.
Yeah.
Here you go. You're allowed doing that job now. Like, they don't know what this guy's gone through.
He doesn't
and
want to believe.
He doesn't want to believe
No,
it, but it's the
I don't
truth,
agree.
dude.
I don't agree.
Dude, I'm telling
there's
you-
nobody sitting there with a fucking master's degree who's like, I am gonna weigh in all the consciousness of this
Yeah.
earth, and I'm gonna decide on whether I'm gonna turn this key. It's literally some fucking Joe Blow.
No, it's not.
Who's
Psychology
that's his
major.
duty. That's his duty.
I'm
I
telling
understand
you,
it's his
day
duty.
in,
I
day
understand
out.
it's not going to be the most qualified person. But
I'm
you
not
guys
saying
are
it's a.
going-
I'm not
you-
saying it's a farmer. I'm not saying it's. I'm not
That's
saying
what
that.
Kevin's saying.
I said hick. I didn't mean fucking farmer. I just mean,
You meant it.
okay,
And farmers
you're
are smart.
taking it to
you
like
son
the
of a bitch.
fucking.
We've been farming our whole lives. You shut the fuck up.
Wisconsin farmer.
Cletus from Simpsons. That's the
Good dairy
fucking
farms
people.
down there.
Anyways, how fucking crazy is this though? In the 60s, they tried to blow up the atmosphere. They sent up 200
yeah.
hydrogen bombs to fucking blow up the atmosphere.
Yeah, they wanted to light the atmosphere on fire,
On fire.
basically, and just
Wait, who was this?
This is the U.S.
The U.S.
fucking
and,
sick.
And they did it literally because they were like, "Oh, this might work. We might be able to kill the Russians with this." Or it was something like
It
that.
was something
it was something to do with
ridiculously
like
stupid.
stupid shit. And
200
they're like,
fucking
well,
hydrogen
let's
bombs.
try it. And that's how stuff was
Back
done.
then, they just had so much fucking gunpowder and all these like bombs and shit. Yo, man, I'm gonna do something.
We gotta do
Just
something
looking
like that.
around.
Again,
Oh,
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Side note: I just learned that scientists just said that our atmosphere actually goes past our moon.
Oh yeah, I just
Just
heard
learned
about
that.
too. They're gonna have to adjust the telescopes in space too.
Yeah.
Because to
Because
account
if they're
for that.
behind it,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to adjust it because you're actually still in the atmosphere.
Mm,
Yeah.
interesting.
Which kind of blew my mind. I don't understand our atmosphere anymore.
Well, that does make sense because, like, why would the moon orbit us and not the fucking sun? It
But
has to be in an atmosphere.
Gravity.
No, I know that, but that's a fucking bigger thing. Look at all the bigger things around us.
What?
The moon
They're
used to be
fucking
part of
weird.
us. Did you know the moon used to be part of Earth? And it was a different planet, I think, called Theia, that smashed into Earth, broke off a chunk of it.
This
That
hold on.
chunk
This
slowly
guy's hold
started-
on. This guy's bringing up
100%.
Game of Planets. This is like a show called Game of.
No, this is legit real. Do you understand we have seasons because of that collision? That collision tilted the entire
this is-
Earth
anything went
about 20 something degrees ish. It tilted the Earth, and that's why we have seasons, because when the planets were evolving, one side is facing the sun more than
With
the
these
other.
two balls separated, how are we so round?
Gravity.
balls. What a funny word. Anyways, gravity always will round almost everything
Yeah.
off, right?
Do you
Because
see
there's
any
so
square
much-
planets out there, Jonah?
No, I was just wondering.
Because it's just the pressure. It's gravity. Gravity gets little things. Those little things get together.
I
It's a
knew
little bit
that. I just
heavier.
wanted you to explain that to our
'Cause-
listeners.
Oh, that's how it works. And that's how our moon came about.
That's why the Earth isn't flat, you fucks.
Oh yeah, I still
Yeah,
gotta
that
watch
not. I'll tell you about the documentary.
Yeah, I still gotta watch that.
What is it called?
Fuck, what's it called?
Behind the Curve.
Behind the curve.
Behind
Yeah.
the curve.
It's
Everybody
a
go watch it.
documentary.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah. It's a documentary about flat earthers made by people that don't believe in flat earth. And so they cut it kind of like they disprove themselves on the show, basically.
It's freaking awesome.
Wait. It is flat earthers making the movie.
They're not the ones actually making the movie, but all the people in the movie are flat earthers.
So the guys that are
but then,
directing
you
it
know-
and producing it
directors
and
and the
stuff.
Then you're
producing
gonna
team
you're
and
gonna
stuff.
cut it a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No, but like
Make them look like
No,
idiots.
dude, I'm
No,
telling you, they made
ended up
themselves
look like idiots,
'cause-
and they when they did, from what I saw, just
seen the whole
briefly, is they ended up once they did their little experiment, they were kind of like, oh,
At one point in the documentary, I've heard of that it's like a behind cut or something. Like it's
like a behind the scenes.
yeah,
something.
behind scenes cut, and like one of the top like flat earther guys is saying, don't let this experiment, like don't let the info from this experiment get out there because it'll ruin us. Because they know
How do you get to the top of the flat Earth?
basically you just make videos.
It's so flat. It's pretty easy to just
you just walk up and
Gotta stand on top of another guy and at the top.
yeah.
I am the top flat Earth guy.
I can see the edge.
Yeah.
I can see it from here, guys.
But basically, it is just a guy that started getting way too into this, started making videos. Other
But
people started
imagine
following,
if the top people, in my head, this is what's going on. Imagine if they were just trolling people, right? And then so many people got behind them, they started making money. They're like, "Fuck, let's
Dude.
keep this going."
Dude, that's what it
I
seems like.
think
is that-
part of it
that's what it
is
seems
it's like a scheme, right?
Yeah.
It's
like
funny.
a pyramid.
You know, in UFC, there's a Gracie finally back in the UFC after like 22 years, like from the Gracie family, and he believes in flat Earth, and they're like, okay, so how are you gonna prove it? He's like, with a telescope.
What is he gonna do?
Dude, that's the thing.
I don't know. He's like, but I think I can prove it with a telescope.
Dude, I'm telling you, all their evidence comes from, well, look over there. It's straight. It's flat. The horizon's flat. There's no curve. Like, dude, their experiments don't make sense.
Or no, it's not a telescope. I think he said in a rocket. In a
Oh, yeah,
rocket.
in a rocket.
I heard
Yeah.
that. I heard that. He's like, I'm gonna take a rocket. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
up and I'm gonna look down.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna tell
That's what it
everybody
was.
if it was flat or.
that
They're like, yeah, you're gonna get enough money to do all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a rocket.
Well, in this the documentary, they raised $20,000 to do this
What are you gonna do with
experiment.
what are you gonna do with 20,000?
So
20,000
Take some
still.
flights. Take some flights around here.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly from here to Dubai. We check the curve.
Well, they blame the airport. They blame flights on the windows. They say that they purposely designed them to make it look like the Earth has a curve. They're so fucked.
That's sick.
I know.
Imagine, like, it's probably like bliss, just being that, like, that
Ignorant?
mindset. Yeah.
I used to think that. But they probably drive themselves crazy. Why is everybody thinking that it's round? Why is everybody thinking it's round?
Oh man, I think
why does
us.
99.9%
I think that's us.
of the
It is
population
us,
think it's wrong?
but it is us. But is it? I'm pretty sure it's
No,
dumb.
you
too.
guys are just stupid. Man. You guys are all just dumb. You guys don't know.
Phony science with you.
Yeah.
Made up
They're phony
facts.
facts. It's feelings. It's all feelings.
But then
I feel
they
like it's
agree that all the other planets are round.
It's government mind control
Yeah,
with that
because-
5G. Government's letting 5G in, mind control's coming.
Yeah. Who said that?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
On
fucking
Joe
losing
Rogan.
his shit about it, dude. He's like 5G, that China company, Huawei, that 5G. He's like, we let that 5G in. Mind control's here. It's that other world.
Is that really his accent?
It's something like that.
That was spot on.
Close enough.
Closed my eyes and I thought it was Alex Jones. That's the thing. People get so entrenched in that stuff. Like, even if they maybe they're skeptical to start with it. They read so much information. They only take information that backs up their own point of view that they start to believe it. And a lot of people, like, it's healthy to be a little bit skeptical, but
Oh, yeah,
you
for
reach.
sure.
You reach a tipping point where you just kind of go literally kind of crazy. And
But people are crazy.
No,
I had a renter. I went to go pick up the rent one time, and he's like, "Nice day today," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's a beautiful day." He's like, "Yeah, jet just went over a little while ago. You know the jet streams, not the jet streams. What do you call those?
Chemtrails.
No, that's what they call them, chemtrails. But what are they actually called?
Jet stream, contrails.
chemtrail, isn't it?
No,
No, they're not chemtrails. They're not really
chemtrails is what the
Yeah.
That's because chemicals.
Yeah.
But it's contrails, I thought.
Contrails, I think.
Yeah.
Is why they call it chemtrails.
That's pretty sure. What
So,
it's-
anyways, the little
Yeah, that
streaks you
exactly.
see behind
Yeah.
planes on a clear day, right?
Condensation.
So it's condensation is what it is. And he's like, watch. He goes, it's gonna get cloudy real soon now. He goes, they just did their little, they just spread the chemicals. He goes, all this, man. He goes, it's all mind control. It's all to do with mind control. I'm sitting there looking at him like, yeah. beautiful day. I'm like, give me the fucking rant, dude. You psycho.
So
They let us have a beautiful day.
so I know
But
somebody.
He was basically saying that now that thing
Yeah,
went
yeah.
over, the weather's gonna change now.
So I know somebody that was like deep into these.
Into the chemtrails.
No, not just chemtrails.
Yeah.
Like all these.
Moon landing was fake.
Yeah, all moon landing
Bigfoot.
came up. All this.
9/11?
Like I know this person well, and he went through all this stuff, and I was like, yo, you gotta calm down a little bit. I'm like, dude, I like how we're like thinking, oh, this could be fake. This could be fake. They could be fucking with us, right? I like it, but when you're like, that's all you're thinking about, I'm like, dude, it's not healthy, right? And then aliens and shit came, and one day I snapped, and I was like, yo, man, stop, please stop. And I don't know if he stopped or he just stopped talking to me about it. And the funny
We are
thing,
no longer
funny-
friends.
The funny
also
thing
wearing
is,
a
he listens
tinfoil
to this podcast, so. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
You can tell us his name afterwards.
We'll send him some facts.
Yeah.
Fucking
No. He's he
Does
just,
he believe in flat Earth?
No. He
Not yet.
he wanted to. He just got into the loop and just kept going. You know, just the loop, basically.
rabbit hole.
The
Yeah,
rabbit
rabbit hole. And going in, I'm like, yo, man, you gotta stop at one point, right? And it was just like weeks on weeks and weeks in this, and it was cool the shit that was coming up. I'm like, yo, I didn't know that a bunch of people were trying to like disprove this or disprove that or something. Because like there's a crazy one that I was like, holy shit. But I'm like, yo, but if you sit there and believe it, it's crazy. But the one was going on that they have in Alaska, they have a weather altering station. So they have this crazy stuff that sends like electricity up and just tries to mess with the.
This is the conspiracy, or this is for real?
I don't know. You tell me. But, so this is what he was telling me,
Okay.
and I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy. That's fucked up, right?" I'm like, "So are they trying to like use it as a weapon and shit like that, right?" And this is a huge thing. They're like, "Yo, it's happening in Alaska. They're trying to control the weather, and they're pretty sure that they're trying to use it for a weapon."
They just want to fuck with your day.
Yeah, no. What it was.
They just want to rain on your day. Is what they want to do.
Well, I'm pretty sure this came up from because they did try to do that.
Okay.
They did try to do weather seeding, cloud seeding, make artificial, like make it rain and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do all this stuff. And so, of course, they set up the institutions to try and do it. But if it was successful, you think they wouldn't fucking make rain over California when it's on fire and like?
No, no,
you
but
think
no,
they wouldn't
but-
do stuff to help too.
It depends who controls it, right?
Well, you could weaponize it too, but yeah, it has practical value, especially with global warming, climate change, that type of
Yeah,
thing.
I
I
just-
understand,
I find
but,
it has
but
so
it's
many more
but it's who
practical-
controls
Who
it,
runs it?
Terry.
Thor? Thor
But
controls it.
Storm.
it all depends on who
Storm
runs it.
wouldn't be
Now,
something.
if the military runs it, you think they give a fuck if it's there's a fire going on in California? They're like, I don't give a
That's
shit
true.
if there's fire. There's people dying over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna give. It all depends who controls it,
Interesting.
because it's not a communist country, right? If it was,
You guys are just letting you know.
Oh, I miss shucks.
2020, it'd be an even playing field.
yeah. If the military figured something out, the rest of the whole country would know. Okay.
Listen, I'd make it rain on you guys.
Yeah. You got a little rain? You got a little rain? Okay, I got you.
That's some solid
Summer would be
slogans.
sunny. Winter would be winter.
It's the type of thing, like, if you look closely into anything real close, you could believe anything.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
you could
That's
just
the-
try to disprove everything. And
That's the
in that
thing. It
sense.
should stop at a point. It should be like, what do you call it? Like, chemtrails, right? Like, fuck, maybe they did try once. That's why where it came from. It's like, they shouldn't fucking do that to the population, right? Like, just add chemicals just to get their result. To put chemical to get the result, it might be hurting us, right? It's obviously bad. So maybe they tried it, maybe they didn't. But now thinking every fucking jet up there is doing it, and then that's all you're thinking, and then you're gonna be seeing jets if you keep looking up, right? You're gonna keep seeing it. You're gonna drive yourself crazy.
He's probably like, originally there used to be crop dusters because there still
Yeah,
are
yeah.
crop dusters.
Yeah.
And then they just evolved into
Yeah,
these
into
bigger,
well, just fly higher.
fly higher
Drop
and
it from
spread them
higher
on
up.
everybody.
Yeah. Why just get the plants? Get all the
Yeah.
people too.
It's I understand that there could be a situation that they could use those chemtrails or whatever. Like say if you really want to go to war, kill a fucking whole country or something, you could fucking throw some shit in there. That say if your country is Germany, I don't know why I picked that one.
Why?
It's usually that one.
Sick bastard.
It's usually that country.
So
Sick
racist.
bastard.
Now they have Lufthansa, right? Now in Lufthansa, they're like, "Yo, once we get away like 2,000 miles or kilometers or whatever away from our country, everybody starts spraying this shit. Everybody starts spraying this shit. I don't know.
Their shit.
Man,
The lavatories.
I don't want Lufthansa suing us, so shut the fuck up.
I said, what if they're not?
Allegedly.
Make up a name.
Airline X, man.
Airline.
Yeah.
Unless that's one.
There probably is. I don't know what I'm gonna make up shit. Lufthansa was an awesome flight, by the way. I'm just saying.
Oh, dude, they're sick. Emirates is the best.
Emirates is so sick.
I've never been.
I hear Spirit Air is.
Spirit.
Yo, I just saw me arrive in a tweet. They're like, "Yo, I'm taking Spirit Air. Is it really as bad as it?" They're like, "No, man. Everybody just takes their turns flying the plane. It's all straight."
There's another one where it's like, oh, we have an emergency. Anybody doctor on the plane? They're like, yo, no doctors flying Spirit, okay?
Where does Spirit Air from?
America.
America, yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's a new one.
So
What they
bad
do
it
is
is.
just buy like old planes from other places,
Yeah.
from other airlines that
There's
are
a
like,
couple
just
things
basically
falling
discarding
off.
their planes. And
Buy
buy
a
that
plane
shit.
ticket for the price of a bus ticket, basically.
Yeah.
That cannot be. And the FAA is allowing this?
Well, as
Well,
long as the
they-
planes fly.
No, they're gonna still have to check,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it checks out.
You're gonna check the fucking airplane, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, but you're probably gonna end up spending more money
More
on
maintenance.
maintenance.
It's
yeah.
more about the comfort cost inside too. Like they wouldn't
Strip
have
it down,
that.
just have
Yeah.
the little straps where you hang on.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like a subway.
What company?
One second.
Oh, Ryanair, I think they want to do that or something. Have it, there's
Is it?
no seats.
I thought
Okay,
that
that's
was
what
a
I was
fake thing.
Was it?
I
Okay,
don't know.
That's
One
what I
more-
want. That's what I want to talk
just
about.
pile
I
on.
think it's fucking perfectly fine. You got fucking people hanging around fucking trains. You got people hanging around buses, and that could crash. But an airplane, you have to sit down. Fuck all that shit. Everybody sit down. There should be a bar in the corner. No, I'm joking on that one. But like, we should
Think
have.
about how many more people you could cram in that plane.
I
Yeah.
know.
There's still gotta be like a regulation. You can't have fucking like.
Like China and
Well,
India.
the whole
like-
intent, the whole intent would be to get more people on it.
Okay, more, not as many as possible.
Double it.
Joda's eyes are turning into money signs right now. Think of all that money.
Oh, this one company from Italy, Italian seat manufacturer Avion Interiors, has come up with a design that allows passengers to stretch their legs as much as they want when they travel without any cost. The catch? The seats are so far upright that they're basically standing. Look at these things.
Holy.
It's
So you're
probably
just leaning on
super
something.
uncomfortable.
You're just
Yeah.
leaning on
No
something.
big deal. I'm
leaning
just
back.
stretching my legs.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like even the seat is basically angled.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you're
like
just-
30 degrees.
No,
So
you're just
like,
leaning
that's
on-
a
It's
lot.
just
You
a
can't put
nice
any weight
calf
on it.
stretch.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Or they should just put 3 levels and everybody's laying down.
Yeah. Bunk beds.
Like bunk beds. And then your legs are crisscrossed into each other. So you're
Scissoring.
saving space. So you're scissoring. And you're saving
Scissor
space.
while you fly.
Scissor Airlines is going to be called.
Scissor airline.
Where comfort is our concern.
I think I saw that on Pornhub last week.
Damn it, Terry.
I think I saw a Japanese movie one time that ended like that.
And they're going to have like terms.
Scissoring in the air.
You're going to have to accept the terms and conditions and stuff. You might catch gonorrhea.
Side effects, maybe.
Side effects may include.
Gonorrhea or death.
Yeah, we're dead.
Because, like, okay, the only situation that it's going to help you in is in a crash.
But then you're already fucked.
Yeah. Like, which crash?
I don't know about
situa-
you guys, but I don't want to fucking stand for a 12-hour
I never
flight.
said stand. I just told you scissoring.
Oh, no, prior to this, you
No,
said
but prior
stand.
you said you're
I
on
know.
the stand.
No.
Jane.
Okay, standing, then you need a bar. You can
What-
like,
what
dance
if
and
you-
shit.
What if you got? What if you had like a super short haul flight? Like let's say.
That's what I'm saying.
30
Vegas.
Half hour.
Vegas.
Yeah,
Thirty-
half
Vegas,
hour,
2.5
flight.
hours.
No, man, it's a long time to stand.
With a bar in the corner?
From here it is, but like a California, like an LA to Vegas
No,
flight.
that
That'd
would
be
make sense.
perfect
But
for
like
a
I said, like a
stand.
half hour, 45 max hour flight.
Yeah.
Would you buy a ticket to stand? Let's say
Oh,
the
fuck
ticket.
yeah. If
Yeah.
it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't know how much tickets from Cali to or LA to Vegas
Okay,
are.
okay. Let's just say.
Well, let's just say.
Let's just say
85
1/4 of the seat.
Would you pay
1/4.
$50?
I don't know what the fucking price. I'm saying 1/4 because you're still gonna have to compare it to a seat.
Would you rather pay $100 and sit, or $50 and
There
stand
you go.
Oh, for how long?
for an hour flight?
Hour? I'd probably pay for the sitting. I'm saying
There it is.
I'm saying wait.
Business is already shut down.
No.
We're already bankrupt.
Shut your ass up. Scissoring will go.
So, okay,
Will go.
one
Extra for scissoring. I would pay extra for scissoring. Whatever the flight is for sitting, I want to pay extra so I can scissor.
$150 less.
The standing one, 1/4 of the flight ticket, done. Tell me.
so 25. So
25
25 bucks. You do
25
it,
bucks done. 25 bucks, man. Throw it there. You're standing up for an hour, dude.
and then he's gonna go to Vegas and act like he's a baller.
Fucking stood on my flight.
Obviously, that's $75, dude. That you saved.
Bragging about it.
Stood to get here,
Yo, man, I was so excited. I couldn't even sit down the whole flight. I was so excited.
and he's gonna be one of those annoying guys who claps when the plane lands.
Shut the fuck up. You look like one of those guys.
You're 100%. You're gonna stand on a flight. You're gonna clap when it lands.
If there's a bar on it, you're clapping when it lands.
Hold on. When you're standing the whole flight, obviously everybody's gonna clap. Like fucking finally, go here. Let's get the fuck
Be
out of
dancing the whole time.
here. Oh yeah.
Man.
If they have drinks, oh fuck.
Sometimes I used to take the bus to commute, and it's like one of those highway coaches, like a nice one. But if I never got a seat, I'd get off the bus. I don't care. I'll wait fucking 2 buses. I'm not standing all the way there.
But it depends. Like if everyone's standing, I'm like, yo, I want to stand. Why aren't I standing? But if like everyone's sitting down and I'm the only one standing,
Jerry
why the
succumbs
fuck-
to peer pressure real quick.
Those guys are scissoring. Why can't I scissor?
Those guys. That's fucking just good stuff.
That option was never presented to me.
I saw it on Pornhub.
Why am I not allowed to do that? He's like looking through his Spirit Airline one. He's like looking through the window. He's like, what the fuck? Those guys are scissoring over there.
Look at his ticket. Where the fuck did it say that?
Or knock until you tried it. Even the pilots are scissoring.
You know what I just remembered that disputes the whole standing thing? The difference between planes and everything else? Fucking turbulence.
Yeah.
You gotta sit down and put a belt on.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
be
no,
standing
no.
for turbulence.
Strap onto the wall, man.
Listen.
Have you seen it when it drops?
Yeah.
When it drops altitude, like how fucking crazy it is. Like sometimes it'll drop like I don't know how many thousands of feet in like a second. Boom!
I got the solution. Okay, so you know how you have the straps at the
You got straps at the bottom. For your
yeah,
feet?
that's what I was gonna say. You have straps at the bottom. You adjust them before the flight takes off, right? You just put your feet under. You're not gonna go up, and you have straps at the top. You're not gonna go down.
I don't think it would work because there are people like you, Preeti, with shit knees that your knee would just buckle if
You
it was
idiot!
enough.
With support from the top too?
You think everybody can fucking hold their own body weight up?
No. That's different. That's different.
But the jerkingness of it.
The
will just
jerking-
jerk you
that's
up.
the problem.
You're like a shock in between. You're like a shock. You just go.
I'm sure that will be
But that's
great
what I
for your
mean.
body.
Your body is the one absorbing that shock then.
You
Where's
got-
that shock gonna
hold
go?
on,
Your
hold on.
knees.
Are
Your
we
knees,
talking
your
about this
ankles, your feet.
seriously or like jokingly?
No. What you gotta do is get a spinning fucking aircraft. So it's like Gravator where you just fucking against the wall.
And you know the guy who would always be running that ride,
Yeah.
and he'd stand up straight, and you'd be like, "Yo, that guy's a fucking."
How does he do it? Yo,
We're
is that
like-
Neil from The Matrix?
I'm like, I can't even get my hand up. This guy's standing straight.
He's in the middle of what?
Yeah, fucking just mind blown.
But Kevin, a question. I was joking about all this. I thought you're taking it seriously.
I wasn't
Obviously,
taking all of it.
I'm writing this shit down.
But think
he's gonna be an entrepreneur.
Terry's
Patent
gonna
pending,
drop
patent
a,
pending, patent pending.
he's gonna drop a business plan.
He's gonna go to.
Need to buy a plane. Then I'm good to go.
It's gonna be called Shock Air.
Shocker.
shocker, you get a complimentary shocker with every flight.
You can always
Option for scissoring.
But the laying one could work maybe, not scissoring.
Damn it.
What about
Laying-
this? You said something about strap-ons too or something?
He did. He did.
You want to talk about strap-ons?
I'm thinking if you're scissoring and you're have a strap-on on.
No, but
be
then
good.
your strap-on goes into the next passenger and it holds them to you.
Can you imagine the
Okay, we
pre-flight?
don't need a diagram.
Could you imagine the pre-flight video on showing that?
It's just porns. It's just straight porn.
It's just lesbian porn. This is how you scissor. This is how you use the strap-on.
Pornhub Airlines. businessman. But you know, like
Some
you know,
sort of human caterpillar type
like
of
you know
deal.
those they take the planes up and they drop and they so it's like zero gravity
Yeah.
for like 10
Yeah,
15
yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
People would probably pay extra if you do that in flight, right? I'm going from Vegas to LA and you're gonna do this
But
you're gonna do
look,
it 3
listen.
times, right?
You pay for that a ride on amusement park.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it this way. Anybody that's signing up to get a fucking $25 flight and you're like, you gotta fucking stand up. You gotta be ready for this shit. You're gonna be, fuck, if it happens, it
Yeah,
happens.
fuck.
Right? I'm trying to save $75. It's
part of the
I
experience,
better
right?
have insurance.
Yeah, but
My life is worth less than $75. I am gonna take that risk,
Seriously, I would debate to take it.
and I'm gonna avoid the insurance.
You gotta have to make sure you have your own insurance.
that's
personal
the
insurance.
problem. Insurance is $75. You're right back to your original price.
And then the
That's not
baggage
the way-
handling fee, you get nothing. Where are you gonna put it?
You can't bring any.
You can't put it under your
You
seat.
gotta hold on to your bag the whole time.
They have a strap outside the airplane with all the luggage.
At the top of the plane, there's like a metal fence that holds all our shit there.
The plane is a giant minivan.
It's a roof rack for the plane.
Yeah.
Like a coat rack fucking on the side.
With stickers on the window and shit. Good to go.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll get this done.
Dude, a lot of the transportation we have these days is fucked up. People do fucked up shit, especially if it's a good price, right? People will line up for days and days and days just to save, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks.
That's true.
Which
That
makes,
out
here-
which makes no sense because they're not valuing their
Yeah.
time.
You can literally
Like
go.
time is the most precious thing.
Most people's time is worth nothing.
But
no,
that's the
wait.
thing.
The other thing we never fucking do. So you know those buses and like fucking trains and shit like that in like China and Japan and India.
Yeah.
They're super packed where you
Yeah.
can't even fucking
Yeah.
move anywhere.
Yeah.
You have a plane like that, you ain't moving anywhere.
You're not
That's
getting
Oh,
off the
you're
ground.
fucking secure as
You're not
fuck.
getting off
What's
the ground.
turbulence gonna do? Nothing to you.
Yo, it's
You are
safer.
a group. It's 100% safer.
Safer airlines.
It's like a game of Tetris.
Safe
Yeah.
air.
Safe air. You can't hurt yourself if you can't move.
Yeah.
No, but the just getting stuck up there and being close to somebody, dude. Enough.
Claustrophobic.
Being on a seat and being strapped in enough.
That's
fucks me.
us. Look at all those people who do that daily
Yeah,
in
yeah,
fucking all those other countries.
Those are animals.
You're so fucked.
Dude,
How dare you?
I cannot. I don't even understand. I have like panic attacks. and
That's
shit
their
in
way of
thousands.
life
But-
now.
but no,
They've
let's
lived
say-
it.
They have attendants on the platforms. It's called white glove service because they wear white gloves, and then they literally like push
Shove
you,
you-
shove
push
you
you right
in,
on.
and shut the doors.
Yeah.
And they have them at every station platform just
But-
to shove people in. And the hardest part is like, what about when you have to get off at the next station and you're like somewhere in the middle? How do you get out?
No, it has to be set up. Well,
It's not set
probably
up.
set up. No, there's nothing.
No setup
There's
there.
only one stop.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
push
They'd
it,
be
You,
shove
like,
your
oh,
way
this
in,
bus
then you
is
push
for
it,
getting
shove
off
your
next
way
stop,
out.
and this
I'm
bus is
sure
for-
if you're getting off in the next stop, right, you'll be like, yo, I need to be on the edge, or I'm not going on this one because you're gonna be stuck in there going to another country or something.
Yeah, but if you're on the edge, the door opens, people rush in, you're fucked.
Have you seen those ones? Those ones are hilarious. When people start trying to rush in while other people are trying to get off.
Have some goddamn
It's like
etiquette.
just fucking
Let
step
people off
aside for
first.
2 seconds.
Yeah,
Let
let
them out of your
people
way.
off.
No.
Me getting on the train is more important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get where I'm going. Fuck your day.
Yeah, UK has it pretty good. Like they have lineups like crazy for their tubes, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They have it.
Queuing is in their blood over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
queuing.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. One time I went, one guy fucking went out of the lineup. He's like, I think he said, "Mind the queue." No,
Mind the gap.
no.
Mind the gap.
I think I'm mixing those two up. But
Scissored
I
with
said right now with my fingers. But
He was scissoring his idea.
he said something like, he's like, the queue. He just kept yelling, the queue. And it was just one guy that went like past. And these guys are like strict queue. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stand right here.
Hands by my side.
You don't even know what you're lining up for, huh? I'm just in the spot.
It's a complaint.
Where does this go?
It's a complaint department.
And I'm in a washroom or something. What the fuck? It's hard to pee.
All right. Well, that was enough fun for.
Hold on.
One
Any more
episode.
plane jokes? Anybody?
Or scissoring.
Remember
I don't
that
think we
airplane
did
movie? That's
Let's
pretty funny.
What about a submarine?
let's wrap it up with the thought of the day.
Fucking Terry.
Submarines.
I'm not. Fuck airplanes. Take submarines.
I wouldn't even step in a submarine. The only submarine I would step into is like the ones that you go down for like 20 minutes and you get to see fish and shit. Barely. That's one thing. I don't fuck with the sea. Like going into the sea, like down.
Dude, I can't even swim.
That is
I'm
just
going-
much worse. What if you're packed with people under fucking water?
Okay.
That's
okay.
like ultimate.
Nobody
right
should
Just kill
ever
me.
come in
Just kill me
submarine with me. I will kill everybody in there. I'll fucking kill you
there.
all.
Think you will.
Oh, buddy. Oh.
One fart, everyone's dead.
Turn that into a nuclear sub.
He carries a nerve gas with him everywhere he goes. Just discreetly releases it.
Biochemical gas.
Biohazard.
I'm gonna kill you guys all at once.
Anyways, the
wrap
thought
it
of the
up.
day. Who's got a good thought of the day?
We need to be more. We need to be more efficient in all aspects of life, whether it be personally or on a larger scale.
Fuck, knowledge bomb.
Or
right
energy.
there. Very good. I agree. I concur.
Be efficient.
Yeah, basically, not wasting time, not wasting
Energy,
energy,
negative energy, everything.
ruining the environment just for our.
Exactly, and that's
Pleasure.
on the micro scale and the macro scale for entire societies or just for individuals. You gotta think about everything.
Okay, Terry.
And watch out for Pornhub Airlines coming up next year.
Scissoring somewhere near you.
Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it. Hit us up at ltbcast@gmail.com. ltbcast on Instagram. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you,
Peace.
Terry.
Scissor me.
Good time.
You mean you're gonna get it from me?